So there's been a pretty popular discussion talked about in the Pokemon space. Not just the investing space, but also just the collecting space, just Pokemon cards in general. A lot of people are talking about this issue. The issue that things are too expensive. Surging Sparks booster boxes 1 month after being released. They shouldn't be $200+ a booster box. It shouldn't be that way. And with Prismatic Evolutions, it shouldn't be $100 a Elite Trainer box. We're 1 month away from release. It shouldn't be double retail already. Now, you can all have your own opinions on this whole subject on whether you believe prices are too expensive, the evil investors are causing this, Pokemon is causing artificial demand, they're not printing enough. This is my whole take on everything going on with people arguing that prices are too expensive. It's just supply and demand. It really is that simple, in my opinion. It is possible, maybe Pokemon, maybe they are printing stuff less, maybe they are causing artificial demand. I have no proof of that, but just based on what we're seeing here with the amount of people just recently getting back into Pokemon, 151 brought a lot of people back into Pokemon. The TCG, Pocket app probably did some of that, and these newer sets that have a lot, I guess more, better artworks and just these sets now are more popular. Just all this combined, there's just demand. And I feel like some people have a hard time understanding the concept of supply and demand because it's really that simple. Like, for example, this wasn't a problem. It just started with Surging Sparks. But think about it. Before Surging Sparks, in Scarlet and Violet, there was zero problems with prices at release before Surging Sparks. Scarlet and Violet base, all the way until Stellar Crown, all these sets, even 151, out the gate, zero problems. Nothing was inflated, everything was normal because the demand wasn't crazy like it is now. But now that we have a lot more people in Pokemon, just there's demand for these products, and with a lot of demand, and I don't know if the supply has changed at all, but the prices are going to increase. It's really that simple, guys. And I know there's been talks, about manipulation in the past. I think it's pretty much gone away now because I think some people are starting to realize that this is really just demand. But guys, if there's a lot of demand for a product and maybe there's the same amount of supply of the product as past sets, but this is more highly demanded, it's obvious it's going to be more expensive. Like the logic just makes sense. That's just how it's basic economics. So people complaining that things are too expensive, it's like, what do you want Pokemon to do? What can they do? It's like Pokemon releases new sets every like 3-4 months. They can only print so much, and this whole idea that Pokemon is going to print everything in the ground they should, to me, just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I know that there's the other argument about things having value. A lot of people, this the whole argument, people saying that these should just be printed in the ground so they have no value, so everything is accessible to collectors. And then there's the other side of people saying that these things should have value because they're collectibles. Honestly, if you want my side of the whole argument, I'm on the side of they should have value. Obviously, I'm an evil investor, and that's why I'm on that side. But if you really think about it this way, what in the world is common that is collectible and that people care about? Like, for example, why do people care to pay thousands of dollars for diamonds versus paying, maybe $10, $20 for a fake diamond? It's because the thing just, it has value, and people, for that reason, it having value, want to collect it. It's the same thing with cardboard, with Pokemon cards, with any sort of collectible thing. Value is part of collectibles. If everything was worthless, if booster boxes, cards were pennies on the dollar, like, no one would care about it because it'd be too prevalent. It just, no one would care and it wouldn't be a collectible anymore. So this whole idea that everything should be printed ground and, $200 or whatever for a booster box is too expensive, all this stuff, it's like, if it gets to this point where you're angry and upset, because a lot of people are upset at these prices, like, it's just part of the hobby right now. It's gonna go away. And honestly, my advice, if you guys are really upset about these prices and you're getting mad at everything, like, my first advice would be to, like, first just calm down. It's not that crazy. It's not that you shouldn't get that angry about it. This is cardboard. You don't have to go for all like the new stuff, because obviously all the new stuff is the stuff that's going crazy in prices. Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions, there's other sets you can collect, and you might be like, well, I want the new stuff. Well, if you want the new stuff, I mean, you're just gonna have to pay for what it is. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, there's reasons why you want it. There's reasons why other people want it. It's because the set is popular, has good cards, and that's the reason why you want it. So can you really complain that things are too expensive when you want it other people want it. It's like it's all the same, right? You want it, the other person wants it. Like, how are you gonna complain it's expensive when you want the same thing someone else wants, right? It's just there's a lot of demand. So I don't really understand people complaining when they want to open stuff up and other people want to open stuff up, and but they're blaming that things are too expensive. It's like the argument is like stupid. It's just simple economics, and when you understand that, it's like you can't get mad. It is what it is. But like I said, my advice really would to be to just, I'm telling you, this whole phase of things going crazy, it's gonna end at some point. This is not gonna last forever. The times we're in right now, where prices double, there's a lot of flippers, investors, whatever. It's not gonna be like this forever. Trust me. It's gonna maybe last. I don't know. We don't know how long this is gonna last for, to be honest. But I will tell you, it's gonna end at some point. I don't know when, but at some point, this whole craziness is gonna die down. It really is. This is not forever. So if you want, you can honestly just leave the hobby for now and come back. Maybe they reprint some of these sets and things die off. Maybe then that's a good time. But my strategy right now, honestly, if you are upset with these new, prices of all these products, there's other stuff you can buy, right? There's other sets you can buy if you want to open product. And honestly, that's another thing. You don't need to open product. Guys, it's like this is not a necessity. This is a hobby. And if you can't afford it, it's like you don't have to, buy these products. And honestly, you could just buy cards. Like that's always been the smarter thing to do. Like you have options in this hobby. You don't need to open up stuff. If it's not affordable for you, just buy the cards. I know it's not as fun, the enjoyment and whatever, but it's like that's what you got to pay in this hobby. It's part of it. But if you still want to open stuff up, if I'm trying to, be helpful here, my advice would be to just, if you can't get the stuff for cheap, if you can't get prismatic evolutions for MSRP and you don't want to pay double the retail price, I get it. Just there's other stuff you can open that's not that expensive. For example, Paradox Rift, $125 a booster box, really not that expensive. Paldea Evolved, even Paldea Evolved, you can chase the Magic card, $140, it's not that expensive. Then you have other stuff like Temporal Forces, really nice cards, $135 booster box, it's not that expensive. Stellar Crown, 130s. You can see there's a lot of sets. They're not that expensive for a booster box. Like 120. I mean, if you want to go for some Sword and Shield stuff, in my opinion, like even 180s, it's not terribly expensive. Like, I don't know, battle styles no one cares about. There's just so many options. Like even some older stuff, in my opinion, like 200, 150, it's not that crazily expensive. But if this is expensive for you guys, like I'm telling you, like I showed you, there's other stuff you can buy for cheaper, like to open up. That I showed you, like Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift. But if everything, and you don't even gotta buy booster boxes, guys. You gotta imagine you can buy, smaller products. You can buy 3-pack blisters, single pack blisters, tins. There's other things you can buy that are more affordable. It's not only just booster boxes that you have to buy. It's not always these top products you need to buy, because some of these products, they are more collectible, like booster boxes. You can buy tins and stuff that have these packs and still open it for fun. So I just want to give you guys my take on this whole thing that things are too expensive, because honestly, in my opinion, it's really not. It's just the demand. It's just that simple. I don't think prices are super inflated where they shouldn't be. Like, to a certain extent, it's just demand. And that's something that some of you guys have to understand, is that it's supply and demand. It's that simple. And if you don't like it, if you don't like this whole space now because the evil investors, scalpers, everything, I would consider just maybe taking a break from Pokemon and coming back in maybe a year or so when things start to calm down. Because like I said, this is not going to last forever. This whole craziness and just the demand right now is crazy, right? It's not going to be here forever. So you can come back, things will calm down. Especially when the new era starts, I'm pretty sure people will hate it and everyone will, just go away. I think that, like, just the times we're in right now isn't very good. Especially, I know there's a lot of new people coming in. And when you're coming into a time when the newest set is already double retail, I get it. It sucks. And you missed out on, pre-orders for MSRP. Everyone's buying them up. I know it sucks for collectors. And I honestly feel for you guys. But it's just the market we're in. And if you're going to get frustrated, it's like, it's not worth it, to be in this hobby and be frustrated. Because a lot of people in the space, especially in the investing space, it gets toxic. People, I understand. So my opinion would be, if you're trying to just, open stuff up and you're upset and maybe trying to invest, whatever you're trying to do, focus on the cheaper stuff. And if you don't want to do that and you want to get the newer stuff, you're just going to have to pay the prices. So that's the end of this video. Just wanted to give you guys my take on this whole subject. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.